Anyway, or Domnia Sumujia, if ever the Yankopon and coming on me, no. Yet the radius is a word in a day, a chay and view. And my young home, a finish your pa. Did ye pass a rade? I want to be seen in a Domnia doye. The neighbor Yesu Christ, obey a chedi, and we are singing and no, and I hear Kaka young Yesu Christ. You are the near chedi, and we are singing. I'm bringing a mention so we're free out to a more than Jumadia to this Akenkansem night of Bible reading. The premise of some legend and Boaten. You made a brother to another quarter and a yawada. And you may at the end, you can kind, you perceive more than you read the book of Exodus, not this week. Not Namia Dumwa, if free next week, a new year, no, yet to me, I shall see Naya can kind the book of Leviticus. Empathy, a better home be brave. See, I was a minimum chica cry. So, fetch me what you can kind Exodus chapter 37 from verse 1. Exodus chapter 37 from verse 1. When I can kind of read. I did see what I be from. Yo, my young call you Akenkansem so. Exodus chapter 37 verse 1 edekon. Exodus 37. Exodus 37 from verse 1. In Tibia Kenkano, a year still a bra na nyame a ye nipa biti se Bezalel any Oholia. Se omon ensi nyame asoridai. Wonye apam adaka ensim. Na erade de said the wonye nyina ma Moses e wo bepo Sinai so no. In year 12 chapter 37 eno ye building the Ark of Covenant. In year the kwanya Oholiab any Bezalel fa so a. Omo eye erade apam adaka na odiesi asori dem ho. In this year 50 verse 1 Exodus 37 1 I'll say next Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it inside and outside with pure gold. And he ran a molding of gold all around it. He cast 4 gold rings and attached them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Then he made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He inserted the poles into the rings at the size of the ark to carry it. Then he made the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. It was 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. He made 2 cherubim from hammered gold and placed them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. He molded, verse number 8, verse 8. He molded the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it all of 1 piece of gold. The cherubim faced each other and looked down on the atonement cover with their wings spread over it. They protected it. To us verse 10, Exodus 37 verse 10. Then Bezalel made the table of acacia wood, 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and ran a gold molding around the edge. He decorated it with a 3-inch border all around, and he ran a gold molding along the border. Then he cast 4 gold rings for the table and attached them at the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. The rings were attached near the border to hold the poles that were used to carry the table. He made these poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, ladles, jars, and pitchers to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. Enti yehun se Bezalel we design ark na wie ebie we design table na rade kachre Moses se wonyem fancy asore dem ho ma Mr. La Trebe nyame onhira oni wabusua. Bless you so much. Matilda appear so nyame nhira so wa John and amakusi nyame wonhira wate ama nyame tiase ebe yi wate Mami Benedicta Brookman nyame nhira Estebe du ni mama John nyina nyame ontene ne mo nkyere mo body say wa John ya no wa share dwumadi na mami obetimi nso a John e wo YouTube channel no obetimi a John e wo ho nso no e Samuel Agyenim na was search for Samuel Agyenim who me wo ho was subscribe to the channel yen to Akenkansem ni so Exodus chapter 37 verse 14. Then Bezalel made the lampstand of pure hammered gold. He made the entire lampstand and its decorations of 1 piece. The base, center stem, lamp caps, bats, and petals. The lampstand had 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Each of the 6 branches had 3 lamp caps shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. The center stem of the lampstand was crafted with 4 lamp caps shaped like almond blossom, complete with buds and petals. The There was an almond bud beneath each pair of branches, where the 6 branches extended from the center stem, all made of one piece. The almond buds and branches were all of one piece with the center stem, and they were hammered from pure gold. He also made 7 lamps for the lampstand, lamps, snuffers, and trays, all of pure gold. The entire lampstand, along with its accessories, was made from 75 pounds of pure gold. The incense altar. Verse 25. Then Bezalel made the incense altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns at the corners carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. He overlaid the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold, and he ran a gold molding around the entire altar. He made 2 gold rings and attached them on opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carrying pole. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made the sacred anointing oil and the fragrant incense using the techniques of a skilled incense maker. Bezalel said, why the Ark of Covenant? Why the table in the temple? Why the lampstand? And why the incense altar? Chapter 38, Exodus chapter 38, the building of the altar of the burnt offering. To also Exodus chapter 38 from verse 1. Next, Bezalel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its 4 corners, so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, and ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar. Under the ledge, he cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying pole. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. You are powerful than what people think. You are powerful, you are good. You are kind. You are powerful than what people say. You are powerful, you are good. You are kind. You are powerful than what people say. Yan to us verse 8. The building of the wash basin. Exodus 38 verse 8. You are bigger than what people think. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. Then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side. 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings and supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end, the front, was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 post sets into 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The tops of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. Adiba kompese wusunya ewo hane se. Nyame no a yedi n'achi no ne bibia no openo pepepe ne kwan so. Enti se wastadi ahwa eniema ni bi ho ma odi gold na eye. Ebi ho a odi bronze na eye. Ebi ho no ma odi silver na eye. Well, say you nyankopon n'ani so ade efe ti se pade de bibi ma wa omma ade a edi mu na efe. Measurement nso odi amawo se won sesa no se de me pe no enie won't mean fa wo pen fa bi nka ho da bi nya sa na ye no obi ewade ede hwe online na na se nipa na oye dma no wo mu city ede ma onu era and to us from verse 18, 38, 18, Exodus. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet, just like the curtains of the courtyard wall. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its height. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. The tops of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. Verse 21. This is an inventory of the material used in building the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest, served as recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He was assisted by Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth. The people brought special offerings of gold, totaling 2,193 pounds. Enti gold a omanfo no de bai se wonfa nye ahyiaye ntomadan no. Se eye 2,193 pounds of gold. As measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 baker, which is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver. About 75 pounds of each base. For each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings and to overlay the tops of the posts. Nana Akosia Sapoma. Merry Christmas to you and the family. Verse 29, Exodus 38:29. The people also brought as special offerings 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the post at the entrance to the tabernacle, and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard. The bases for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the 10 pegs for the tabernacle and the courtyard. Enti or recall the materials are almost used to the years. I saw it down any altar, any honey manina. Akenkansem ne so ewo Exodus chapter 39. Exodus chapter 39 from verse 1. Mayentoa so ewo ho. Exodus chapter 39. You can kind of free verse 1. Into chapter 39. Exodus 39. Reading from verse 1. The craftsmen made beautiful sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So say Exodus chapter 39 no e kasafa asofo no ene wona ho siesie. Enti ye behwe kwanya wo fa so a oye Aaron ene asofo mpanimfo no o matade ana o mo hye e wo apam dada ne mu. Exodus chapter 39 from verse 1. The craftsmen made beautiful sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Bezalel made the ephod of finely woven linen and embroidered it with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made gold thread by hammering out thin sheets of gold and cutting it into fine strands. With great skill and care, he worked it into the fine linen with the blue, purple, and the scarlet thread. The ephod consisted of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. The decorative sash was made of the same material, finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They mounted the 2 onyx stones in setting of gold filigree. The stones were engraved with the names of the tribes of Israel, just as a seal is engraved. He fastened these stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as a reminder that the priests represent the people of Israel. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Oh, yes, you are now. Most High. Yes, you are the Lord. Most High. You are the Lord. Let your name be glorified. Yentoaso ewo verse 8. Exodus 39 verse 8.
As we honor you,
Bezalel made the chest piece with great skill and care. He made it to match the ephod, using finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made the chest piece of a single piece of cloth, folded to form a pouch 9 inches square. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row contained a red carnelian, a pale green peridot, and an emerald. The second row contained a turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and a white moonstone. The third row contained an orange jacinth, an agate, and a purple amethyst. The fourth row contained a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and a green jasper. All these stones were set in gold filigree. Each stone represented one of the 12 sons of Israel, and the name of that tribe was engraved on it like a seal. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, they made braided cords of pure gold thread. They also made 2 settings of gold filigree and 2 gold rings and attached them to the top corners of the chest piece.
Holy God.
They tied the 2 gold cords to the rings on the chest piece. They tied the other ends of the cords to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the front of the ephod below the shoulders, the shoulder pieces, just above the knot where the decorative sash was fastened to the ephod. They attached the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with the blue cords. In this way, the chest piece was held securely to the ephod above the decorative sash. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Cecilia Fachinya, and Merry Christmas to you. Verse 22. Exodus 39:22. Bezalel made the robe that is worn with the ephod from a single piece of blue woven cloth, with an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening was reinforced with a woven collar so it would not tear. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and attached them to the hem of the robe. They also made bells of pure gold and placed them between the pomegranates along the hem of the robe, with bells and pomegranates alternating all around the hem. This robe was to be worn whenever the priest ministered before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics of Aaron for Aaron and his sons from fine linen cloth. The turban and the special head coverings were made of fine linen. And the undergarments were also made of finely woven linen. The sashes were made of finely woven linen and embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Verse 30, Exodus 39:30. Finally, they made the sacred medallion, the badge of holiness of pure gold. They engraved it like a seal with these words: Holy to the Lord. They attached the medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban, just as the Lord had commanded, just as the Lord has commanded Moses. I don't want you to forget about that. Just as the Lord has commanded Moses. It tells you that they were obedient to the instructions God gave to Moses. And so they didn't deviate from the plans of God. May we convict. Sana Suffolk Clement Edu Amwakon. Akenkansem Exodus chapter 39. That's verse 32. Exodus 39, 32. Verse 32 or say, and so at last the tabernacle was finished. The Israelites had done everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And they brought the entire tabernacle to Moses, the sacred tent with all its furnishings, clasps, frames, crossbars, posts, and bases. The tent coverings of tanned ram skins and fine goatskin leather. The inner curtain to shield the ark. The ark of the covenant and its carrying poles. The ark's cover, the place of atonement. The table and all its utensils. The bread of the presence. The pure gold lampstand with its symmetrical lamp calves, all its accessories, and the olive oil for lighting. The gold altar. The anointing oil and fragrant incense. The curtain for the entrance of the sacred tent. The bronze altar. The bronze grating and its carrying poles and utensils. The wash basin with its stand. The curtains for the walls of the courtyard. The posts and their bases. The curtain for the entrance of the courtyard. The ropes and tent pegs. All the furnishings to be used in worship at the tabernacle. The beautifully stitched garments for the priest to wear while ministering in the holy place. The sacred garments for Aaron and the priest, and the garments for his sons to wear as they minister as priests. So the people of Israel followed all the Lord's instructions to Moses. Then Moses inspected all their work. When he found it had been done just as the Lord had commanded him, he blessed them. Not until you work in accordance of the will of God, you will not be blessed. So also Moses ebe instruction will say ampa oma ye bibia se ni Awurade kae no ansa na Moses ehira won. So God will bless you after you have followed his instructions. The year 2022 edi yanimu Awurade be hira wa adi se wedi Awurade asem so. If you don't obey God, if you don't listen to his instructions, you may not receive the blessings you have been praying for. Year 2022, God is going to give us a rest. But that rest is for only those who will obey his way. It was Moses inspected all their work. When he found it had been done just as the Lord had commanded him, he blessed them. The last chapter for tonight. The last chapter of Exodus. So that we didn't kind and then the perceive more than kind Exodus na ewie. Na me aduma next year ye shasia na ya share Leviticus at the air corner. Exodus chapter 40 from verse 1. Then the Lord said to Moses, set up the tabernacle on the first day of the new year. Place the ark of the covenant inside and install the inner curtain to enclose the ark within the most holy place. Then bring in the table and arrange the utensils on it. And bring in the lampstand and set up the lamps. Place the gold incense altar in front of the ark of the covenant. Then hang the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the tabernacle entrance. Set the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar and fill it with water. Then set up the courtyard around the outside of the tent and hang the curtain for the courtyard entrance. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all its furnishings to consecrate them and make them holy. Anoint the altar of burnt offering and its utensils to consecrate them. Then the altar will become absolutely holy. Next, anoint the wash basin and its stands to consecrate them. Present Aaron and his sons at the entrance of the tabernacle and wash them with water. Dress Aaron with the sacred garments and anoint him, consecrating him to serve me as a priest. Then then present his sons and dress them in their tunics. Anoint them as you did their father, so they may also serve me as priest. with their anointing, Aaron's descendants are set apart for the priesthood forever, from generation to generation. Moses proceeded to do everything just as the Lord had commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month of the second year. Moses erected the tabernacle by setting down its bases, inserting the frames, attaching the crossbars, and setting up the posts. Then he spread the coverings over the tabernacle framework and put on the protective layers just as the Lord had commanded him. He took the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant and placed them inside the ark. Then he attached the carrying poles to the ark, and he set the ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of it. Then he brought the ark of covenant into the tabernacle and hung the inner curtain, shielded it from view, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the table in the tabernacle along the north side of the holy place, just outside the inner curtain. And he arranged the bread of the presence on the table before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. He set the lampstand in the tabernacle across from the table on the south side of the holy place. Then he lit the lamps in the Lord's presence, just as the Lord had commanded him. He also placed the gold incense altar in the tabernacle, in the holy place in front of the inner curtain. On it, he burned the fragrant incense, just as the Lord had commanded him. He hung the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle, and he placed the altar of burnt offering near the tabernacle entrance. On it, he offered a burnt offering and a grain offering, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar. He filled it with water so the priests could wash themselves. Moses and Aaron's sons used water from it to wash their hands and feet. Whenever they approached the altar and entered the tabernacle, they washed themselves just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then he hung the curtains forming the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar. And he set up the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard. So at last, Moses finished the work. At last, Moses finished the work. May you finish your work. May the Lord help you to finish your work. Moses verse 34 Exodus chapter 40 verse 34. Exodus chapter 40 from verse 34. Verse 34, no, essay. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle. If we will pay attention, because this is where God was coming to live in the tabernacle. Said the reason why Nyamima Omoye tabernacle no was said the Beya Nyami betumi abetna one tem. Enti a free verse 34 Ebano. Eye bra na Moses aye niemani nyina awie na afe Nyame esane ababetna edan ni mu no. Enti yenhwe Exodus chapter 40 from verse 34. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could no longer enter the tabernacle because the cloud has settled down over it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Now, whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out on their journey following it. But if the cloud did not rise, they remained where they were until it lifted. The cloud of the Lord hovered over the tabernacle during the day, and at night fire glowed inside the cloud, so the whole family of Israel could see it. This continued throughout their journey. Now, Exodus chapter 40, no, yadiba we and the person was shining so any, or say this continued throughout all their journey. The enumere meka na me dia jawo kwan na me dia wie ni se udi erade nhyehyɛ yeso na ne erade aka bia ubeye na ubefa erade animonyam beba abetna wabrabo so erade animonyam beba betna wabusuam erade animonyam beba betna wufie na se animonyam enya ebetna ho a sa animonyam no ene wo benante won kwana nyina kopem se erade no a ebefre enti asema wie nyina ne tofa bo nyina ne se ye Kristo suma bra boni ye Kristo suma kwantui se ye ntinya me so atua emum ye be ye sitie amanyame asem a afi 2022 edi yanimu yi Ewurade besane aba betna ye ntem na se osane betna ye ntem a onu Ewurade ne bekire ya na motu a ye ntuo onu Ewurade so onyawo yen na won paw yen obeka yen ho de ye kwakodru ewiase awie ye enyumre nyame won hira na omwa Yesu Kristo dine ni aba se wa kotoko ate se wa afinhia pa nyame won hira Mami Benedicta won so nyame hya mama Estebedu nyame enhira motimi Johnny me nyina ne mu amantumi adone mama behwele akire nyina no nyame onchemu bebre na me mamu nyina nso afinhia pa kese pa me ka mo se bronya de ne egusoje ya na modi aba dana yebo a nyame wonhira wo pa Mami Dokas akosa Munansem wa montimi enjoy nyina nso eyemeni aba Francisca Owusu Madam Vida Adoma na ne mo amokeka ho nyina yemamu nyina afinhia pa Your bomb pie say, afida se na Erade Nyankopon atre yashiem, na Erade enimpa astren ewo yenso. Na Erade de yakoma so bisade nyina e de amaye saa na menua ba abina dankwa nyame onhyira wonso bebre ewo womoa mama Esther Amwa enso mama Esther Amwa nyame onhyira na onye wo kese maybe convict nyame onhyira wonso na kosia sapoma nyame onhyira Lucas Imprim nyame onhyira mo nyina Nyame ontinanim encheramo na onyamo kese ya di dwumadie no ebesie nyame adom ya kenkan the book of Exodus ne so awie from next year nyame ya adom a next year nyame ya adom no de cheye ne ye betwa so e de free Leviticus nyame yadma wo china yema nyame yadma wo kuada nso ye nhia nemom nyame yadma yawada ne obeba bebo mpaye se efiada ne 31st na ye bekwa asoro nti fiada ne ye ntumi enhia wo fidie yi so nti efiada mpaye bo no yatwe e de aba nyame yadma yawada omode ne nyame yadma yawada ebe yi no Shia me fidie yi so ye mom pa ye mfa ye ho hye Awurade sansan ye ko 31st night krambo MOR for ye be 31st watch night no be the Thursday ebe ya we fidie so 4 p.m. 4 p.m. ye shem we fidie yi so Anima a boy sina one timenka na so for somebody jenim boaten macrow as near bad vidash ejewa yam winshra what on tinanim entre amuni na finish apabi shalom peace be unto you God bless you and stay blessed Afi macrow Mama Olivia Bonsu nyame wontra se wonso bovremu which bless you and the family Silia Fache Macrow Papa
Yeah.